What's going on? I'm Spencer Tillis.
And I'm Angela Santoro.
I'm Trayvon Miles.
And this is the Delmarva Sports Insider. Coming up in just a bit in today's episode. Say it with me right now, football is finally back. Bennett opened up their season at home today when they squared off against Washington. We'll have all your highlights.
And we've got some soccer action coming your way. The SU men's soccer and women's soccer teams both took the field today. Highlights of both games coming up in just a bit.
And there was also a showdown last night in Salisbury. Y-High taking on Cambridge. A lot of differing opinions on this game, but one team, they left, no doubt. That is also coming up. Welcome to the show you know and love, DSI. Jam-packed show, guys. Fall sports is back, so we're going to jump right into it, into what turned into the game of week one.
Maybe the
Kent
century.
County, Kent County hosting rival Queen Anne's. First quarter of a scoreless game. Stevie Kern, this guy was on fire last night, finds that man Marquand Green across the middle. Look at the little man go, 82 yards just like that. 8-0 Kent County. Ensuing kickoff, Ricky Dunkerley. Going to take it around the 20, find a seam up the sideline. He could go. It's a fumble. Queen Anne's. They give it right back to the Trojans, and look what the Trojans do with it. Daquan Seymour, the big man. Hey, a lot of people did not want to tackle that guy.
Oh, my gosh.
You see it right there. 31 seconds and 67 yards later, Kent County with a 15-0 lead.
But
you knew it would not. Queen Anne's would not go anywhere. After a Gray touchdown, Dunkerley making up for that fumble, using that stiff arm, 29 yards to the end zone, 15-13, Kent still leads. Back and forth game, Queen Anne's took the lead, lining up, fake punt, Kern with his 5 touchdowns on the night, that one 35 yards to Deshaun Lister. Fast forward to the fourth, Kent up 1, 9 seconds, Luke Matrino cannot connect from 30 yards out, and for the second year in a row, Kent knocks off Queen Anne's. They win a wild one, 46-45. I have to catch my breath just reading the highlights. I tell you what, Kent County is for real, guys. Stevie Kern might just be the best quarterback in the Bayside Conference. He is such a tough kid. He got hit so many times last night. Queen Anne's was in that backfield all night last night. But what did he do? He stared down the barrel of that gun, delivered 5 big touchdowns against Queen Anne's, my number 1 team. And I don't know what to say about this guy, Marquand Green. I mean, every time he touches the ball, you hear the crowd gasp. They know something's going down. 3 touchdowns and at least 10 tackles, I counted. He's easily the most dynamic player in the Bayside, I think.
Definitely helped, too, having that senior leadership there at quarterback, especially after losing their head coach halfway through the third quarter. I mean, that is an impressive win right there. Well, there's another good game actually going on today. Bennett was in action this afternoon when they squared off against Washington, and can't have much of a better start to a season than this right here. Chris Tomey right here on the first play of the game takes this thing, the opening kickoff, 81 yards, and he's going to go ahead and house that thing. And just like that, he just gets his varsity career started.
Nice.
And the start of his big day. Just a little bit later in the first quarter, it's Joey Blake. He finds Christomi in the flats, and he breaks loose, and he's back in the end zone for a 40-yard score. Bet it up 12-0 early, but back comes Washington. They cap off a long drive with a 3-yard keeper off the left side by Julius White. This is not a replay. It's just a few plays later, and they go ahead and get another touchdown in the end zone. That would tie things up right there at 12-12 at halftime. Bennett would take over in the second half, though. Blake rolls out, finds Joey Geary in the back of the end zone for the score. And then the Clippers go ahead and put this thing away. Tyquan King right here, good from 3 yards out. Bennett ends up taking this thing pretty healthy, 32-12. And I know what, there's been a bunch of really unexpected games. We'll get to a couple other ones here in the Bayside South that it looked on paper like it might be a blowout. And the final score, I get it like 20 points is somewhat comfortable, but it was tied 12-12 at halftime. And I think it was a combination of things. One, Washington looked a lot better than I expected. White looked good at quarterback, managed it really well, made a lot of great plays. And it looked like Bennett was sleeping a little bit there the first half, but still a pretty great play right there, a pretty great game. I tell you what, it'll be interesting, though, because now Bennett, they're going to have that Queen Anne's team coming into town next week, coming off a tough loss like that. So we'll learn a lot about the Clippers here next week.
Well, we're also learning about another team who was actually in Salisbury last night. Y-High was looking to get their season started off the right way, but Cambridge was not going to make it easy. The Vikings made it all the way to the state quarters last year, and they showed why. Early in the second half here, Nathaniel Lowe has time and finds Jacob Morris wide open down the middle, and he is gone. 64 yards to the house. Vikings go up 21-0. Later in the third, check out this. A hit no one can forget. Taj Malak with the return, but look behind him. Kobe Jones blindsides Jeremy Taylor. You'll see more of that later. There would be a penalty, but no ejection. Now the Tribe was amped up after that. JoJo Brittingham helps him out. with a 6-yard carry down at the 1-yard line, and Jason Patterson is going to finish it off with the very next play with the QB keeper right there to make it 21-7. But Cambridge managed to put the padding on their lead right here. Trey Lake up the gut,
wow.
and the backfield will not catch him as the Vikings take this one 35-7. First and foremost, I think what I have to say is that hit.
Oh,
His grandparents felt that one right there.
Oh my gosh, like so awful. Honestly, the sound of it kind of freaks me out. No ejections though. They said it was legal. Definitely Pat McGlinchey was not happy about that one. But I got to tell you, I thought Cambridge could have done a little bit more damage in that first half. They only had 14 points. They did have a touchdown called back, but if they're going to try to compete with a team like North Carolina with Queen Anne's, and Kent County, they're going to have to do better than maybe even 35 points against Y-High. Now, Y-High, I have to say they did look better than I was expecting, especially, missing Travell Jones and Nelson Brown. But I think that they're actually going to pick it up, and I think they're going to be okay.
Have to see.
We will.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, when they run into Kent County down the line, that'll be a serious test right there for Cambridge. Well, Snow Hill actually introduced their new stadium at home yesterday when they took on Parkside. The Eagles flying high early on. And this right here is Damian Thornton off the left side. That's good for a score to give Snow Hill the lead, but back come the Rams. It's going to be Luke Pitzenbarger right here. Drops back to pass. He's going to find a wide open Quillen Pompoulos, and he's going to go ahead and take that thing in for the score. And then it would be the Eagles' turn. Check out my man, Amonte Allen. Already had a 99-yard kickoff return. One hand needed, fundamentals not required, and he's going to go ahead and take this thing 96 yards up the sideline. Are you kidding me? His second 95-yard return of the game. They would actually have the lead at halftime, but in the second half, this thing was all Rams. Their offense got going right there. Niall OG takes that thing in for the score. They would get the win 44-26, the final.
And Steve Decatur was taking on Bohemia Manor last night as well. And this guy that you're about to see right here, Tyree Henry, showing us that he can do more than just play basketball. First quarter, he's going to take the punt return to the house for an 85-yard touchdown. Look at the guys trying to keep up with them. They're slowly trying to get there, but they can't. The Seahawks would take a 7-0 lead. But guess who's back? This time it's on defense. Henry lights up Bow Manor's Kamar Muhammad on 3rd and 4th to force the punt. Teammate Darian McKenzie was pumped up. Oh, and McKenzie, he's also the quarterback, and he's going to find Henry again in the end zone. A great night for Henry. A solid first win for the Seahawks as they take this one 21-7, the final.
Some big expectations coming out of North Carolina. They open up, taking on Easton. This one got ugly in a hurry. Rodney Thomas prancing and dancing. He had his way last night. In fact, they had it their way so much, they put the backups in early. Alan Sathoff carries it into the end zone. North Carolina led this game 42-6 at half. Warriors, Morosco JoJo had a nice night trying to on the ground. But, man, I'm telling you what, this North Carolina backfield is just too much. The Dogs go on to take this one 48-12. And Kent Island handled business like expected. They beat Colonel 44-6. Joe Sweet, 3 touchdowns for the Bucks as they picked right up where they left off last year.
I'll tell you what, that's a good start for week 1. And now I tell you what, it shuffled up things a little bit for me and also some things in Delaware with some of the scrimmages going on. So we're going to take our first commercial break, but coming up next, Trey's going to give us our power rankings. Then me and Angela are going to school him on exactly where he went wrong. Keep it right here.
Jose Ortiz, offensive line, defensive line, Milford High School. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.